Hi there, folks, and welcome to session 42 of To the Skies. I am, of course, your DM of Doom, Son of Asgard, or World Tree Quests here on TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube. I always try to throw in Twitter, but we're not on Twitter anymore. Yeah, TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube. And with me today, we've got two of three of my cast members. We have got Stories from the Roses, and we've got Johnny Deadman. I believe Wingo the Wizard might be joining us a little bit later on, but they got a little bit of stuff to do today, and that's absolutely fine. So we'll either see them next time, or you might see their lovely face pop into session tonight. Either way. Do I have any housekeeping to do? No, I don't think I do, which is quite a uniquity. So I believe we're just going to get right into it, and I'm just going to ask everybody's favourite question. Without a doubt, it's always everyone's favourite question, because we always know what's going to come from it, and that is, guys, what the heck happened last session?
So much, let me tell you about it.
It's an 8 recap.
Yeah. Okay, so the panicked person that before was like, hey, we've got trouble, turns out to be the rainforest drow who had been taking care of our dead bodies for a while. And they came and they're like, hey, oh, my earphone just fell out. They're like, hey, one of these volcanoes is erupting. We've got either 10 minutes or up to 11 hours. And we're like, wow, that really narrows it down. We're like, let's plan. Let's just start evacuating people. And then Luca comes and he's like, I've got bad news. And we're like, oh, even more goody. And he's like, the hatchery is in the volcano. And we're like, guess that's on our to-do list now. And so we're like, okay, we're going to go to the volcano. We're going to try and save as many people as possible. And then we'll try to get the volcano to explode a certain way. And great. And so we're on our way, and we had a bunch of random encounters. First one, there was some rainforest drow with some kids and hatchlings, and Jericho's like, get to safety! And they were like, okay! So we're like, haha, we have done job number 1. And then we get to ruins that had, like, these dragons and armored drow outside, and we're like, broskies, you gotta get out of here. And they're like, well, actually, there's some, like archaeologists that are down there, and we haven't really like heard from them for like a day, and we're like, well, one, that's already a problem if you haven't heard from them for a day. But we're like, okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna bury them alive, but then we'll unbury them after. And so they were like, that's a great idea. And so Fez came in clutch and was like, turn the mud to stone. Now we have a nice little cover over the entrance. And they let the archaeologists know, like, hey, just hang tight. We're gonna let you out in just a little bit, but, like, volcano's exploding. And they were like, okay. And so we're like, hooray! We've done it! And then we keep going. And then we see this obelisk and all of these chests that are slowly starting to sink because of the earthquake that's been going on. And Jericho's like, oh, cash and prizes. Oh, cash and prizes. And Fez is like, oh, we can get these cash and prizes. And so together,
we know how this party feels about cash and prizes.
They're the best. So with some vortex. Is it Vortex Warp? Is that the name of the spell?
Vortex Warp.
Yeah, Vortex Warp and some very awesome parkouring. We got all the cash and prizes. We get to go and see what that is later, though. And then we get to the mountain, and there's this beautiful gilded opening, and we're like, so pretty. And then we're like, oh, it's so hot. We're dying. Okay, we gotta go fast, because we're gonna die if we stay in this heat. And so our drow guide, whose name was Serena, she's like, okay, I know this place like the back of my hand. Here's a nice little map. Here's where you need to go. You've got a bunch of doors in between you. Good luck. And we're like, cool. And so we go in. and the heat's like, woohoo, super intense. But, we're gonna make it, maybe. And we get to the first doorway, and it's like, all like, crumpled and cracked. We're like, oh no. But then we're like, wait, if we're like Fez size, we can get through. And so we all kind of like, either we get shrunk or we turned into like a cat. And poor Jericho's caked up booty got stuck for a little bit, so we had to kind of help her get through. But eventually we get through, and we're like, hooray!
I've never had to have a player roll for dump truck.
Exactly.
It was certainly a new experience as a DM.
We just bring all sorts of new things, like farting somebody to death.
Absolutely, like you ever had a party make a creature fart so much it exploded? Well, I have.
We bring a lot of bum-based shenanigans to D&D.
Right, fuck you.
I know, we just bring so much fun stuff. And we get to another room. And oh my goodness, there's more cash and prizes, but Jericho's like, I already got a lot of cash and prizes. I'm gonna resist. And I have, in my notes I say, on we go. Jericho resists more cash and prizes. And that's what we call character growth. We get to the next door, and it's like, you have to manifest certain power to get this. And we were like, oh, the power of friendship. And we pulled out the chime of opening from Echo, and it was really, really sweet. And we were able to get through. And we get to this canteen, and we can hear people that are talking down these tunnels. And we're just like, get out! Except I used Thunderwave. A part of me thinks, because we did end up failing saving some people, and I think it was that one, and I probably accidentally collapsed the tunnel with my Thunderwave because it cracked the walls, but, we did our best. And we keep going. We get to the third door, we chime it open, and we get into this place with all these dragon statues, and there's this young adult drow who's trying to, like, pick this lock to get at this, like, really fancy-looking spear, and we're like, dude, now of all times, you're gonna try and steal that? And he's like, I'm not going anywhere without it. And so we're like, fine, chime it open. And he's like, ah, ha, 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 and runs off with it. And we're like, don't die. And he's like, I'm not going through the doorways. I'm going through a special way. Probably magic. And we're like, bye. Next area.
I hope you find your dad.
Yeah. Next area, there's some large vault doors. There's the armory. And we needed to go left. So I tucked Jericho like a little football under my arm. We're like, we're going left. I know we like the armory. We love our cash and prizes, but we are going to go left. And we end up finding this like dusty beige egg in this training room. And we're like, oh, look at one of these little dragon eggs. Little dragon eggs got kicked out of its nest. We're going to take it with us. And at first, 8 was holding it. And we get to the final door. And it's like, ha ha ha, look at this psychic energy. And we're like, no time. Boom, chime of opening. We get through, and there's dragons in there, and they're like, help. We can't get our saddles on. We are too big for this. And we're like, we got you. We got you covered. And so we got them all saddled up, and we have put eggs in special little pouches that are enchanted to be the exact environment that they need. And we showed them the dusty egg, and they're like, that is not our egg. And we're like, oh, now it's our egg. At which point Jericho gets to touch it, and the egg is like, Mother, I sense you. So Jericho's gonna have a baby. So Fergus is gonna have a sibling. It's gonna be great. And then we're like, we gotta get out of here. And Fez does some awesome MVP buffer shenanigans and makes it so that we all get out on a dragon. And we're like, whee! And then we caused an earthquake and like little fissures along the volcano. So then it was like, and then the lava went into the little fissures, and we were like, we did it! Hooray! And that's where we left off.
There could not have been a better way for that entire session to have been described. You can tell me there could have been. I will argue that there could not be. Thank you so much for that amazing rendition of events, Jess. That was phenomenal. Phenomenal beyond belief. Okay.
That was my dad. He said, peace and love. Thank you, Dado.
Peace and love all the way.
Heath, those are my pancakes. I want to eat my food.
Heath,
My
those
food.
are my pancakes. They are not for the likes of you, Popper.
Yeah. They're not
Um,
for puppy tummies. Mom tummies.
So, as you said, we ended with the party flying back down towards the beachhead where the rest of the rainforest drow had gathered, and where you can see they're actually starting to gather in quite large numbers. You can see quite a few of the sea-based dragons, including some incredibly large ones, like to the size, right? Well, I mean, you guys have seen ancient gold dragons because there was that moment that the avatar of Bahamut manifested when you guys were up in Skyhold. Windhome. And you saw the 7 ancient gold dragons flying around this avatar. So you've seen the size of an ancient dragon. They're pretty fucking big. And so you can see that there's, 2 or 3 of those with just like groups of rainforest drow standing on their backs as they're just kind of like treading water. And as they're treading the water, they're actually making small waves. But as you guys land, Luca is there with his dragon next to him. He's going to turn towards you, specifically speaking to you, 8.
Okay.
And he's going to say, well, what's the verdict?
We got lots of people out and we have the eggs.
And there's like an immediate look of relief on his face as he kind of beckons over some. At this point, you will have been here long enough. You understand what they are. They are clerics. Specifically, they are clerics who are practicing the arts of nature magic. Essentially, they're nature domain clerics, but they pay specific homage towards like draconic entities rather than to actual gods. The religion here is more of a kind of animistic belief, but they do believe that, they follow the old belief that dragons created this world and therefore dragons are the only beings worth worshipping. Because gods routinely get involved and mess things up. Primordial entities are just, really obnoxious. And angels, devils, demons, they're just in it for themselves. So dragons are the only ones that have ever actually contributed towards this world. So they believe they're the only ones worthy of anything even remotely close to worship. But it's less worship and just more very, very observant respect. So they immediately come over and they start taking the saddle, the bags off of the saddles and start to get the eggs to a safe location. And Luca's going to turn back to you and he's going to say, I truly can't express to you how thankful we are that you managed to save all these eggs. We've heard word that there are people coming from the mountain as well, people who are trapped inside. Was there anybody else that we should be aware of?
We did bury some archaeologists alive.
I'm going to assume that there's a bit more of a story to that. Because on its own, that sounds like a little bit, as if you went out of your way to... There we are! We have Wingle!
We got our eggs!
Hello.
Hello, Wingle!
I'm so sorry!
You have nothing to
totally
be
fine,
sorry
babes.
for! Nothing to be sorry for whatsoever. Quite honestly, we were just sitting going, is Wingle okay? So no, you have nothing.
Like Wingle to not
nothing
reply to us.
apologise for.
Wingle did their first practice test and had an anxiety nap, and that's what happened. So
That's
it was
absolutely
valid.
fine. You haven't
So I
missed. You haven't missed anything. We just got started. So
I
do
got
not-
so I was like, my partner's like, are you guys supposed to? I mean, they're live right now. I was like, oh my god, am I the mama or not?
Let me
We were
just
just
hop
getting to
over.
that.
I'm just going to get the screens all sorted out. If people can just bear with me.
If I'm DM inspiration,
Actually, you're kind of half
You're
Fez it.
currently Fezit.
Actually,
freaking-
technically at the moment you both have control of Fez it.
Yeah, we split screened him.
It's alright, don't worry. There was a little bit of a fucky wucky, so I had to redo the
Flash
screen.
of genius.
You know I hand that out like it's candy on Halloween.
Every time, we love it.
I mean, it's not a lie. It
Plus
really,
5
really
to
does.
everyone.
10
I like
points.
that
to
you
Griffin.
wait. You wait until it's like, oh, we just need to get. If we had 2 to get like a 30, and you're like,
How about 5?
my time has come.
Right, bear with me, folks, just while I fix this. Just going to fix this screen up, and then we will get right back on it. So, you haven't missed anything. They've literally just landed on the beachhead, and they are describing the situation to Luca, letting them know that they managed to get all the eggs. They got everybody out of the mountain, and they may or may not have buried some archaeologists.
Oh, yeah.
So, nothing missed at all. And there we have it. We're back in business, folks. Although, I don't know if you've moved your camera, Wingo, because we can see here. There we go! We can see your lovely face! Woo! Alrighty, so the Tarrasque has appeared, and you're all, getting ready to fight. Nah, I'm totally kidding. So what's happened, literally, just as you've got here, Jericho, is you've landed, Luca's come over and is speaking to 8, getting the rundown of everything. What you guys, at this point, having been here this long, understand to be essentially nature domain clerics. They look after all the eggs. They've come over and started taking the eggs and moving them to like a hatchery. They're not taking your egg, don't worry. And Luca's just been informed that there may be some archaeologists that are buried that are buried in a tunnel somewhere. So he immediately points towards 2 people who have like quite large, very, very broad-limbed and shouldered dragons. These dragons are specifically of the bronze variety. And it's going to be like, you 2, go to the mountain and start trying to get through that rubble. And they immediately climb up onto their dragons and they soar off, heading towards the mountain, careening more towards kind of like the eastern side of the mountain, so they can start, facing away from the opposite side of the lava, so they can start kind of trying to tunnel through the rock with combinations of, even as I say this, I'm aware that I'm going to get this wrong because I always get them mixed up. Bronze is lightning, I believe.
Yes, because brass is fire.
Gold is also fire, which is weird.
I know. Brass, it's a line of fire. Gold, it's a cone.
What's the matter? Sorry, we've just had a wee visitor as Astrid's popped in. What's the matter, baby? I have no idea what you're saying, my love. No, you can't come up here, baby. Excuse me a moment, folks. I don't have my wireless headphones, so let me just take Astrid back to where she's going. Come on, you little one. You've already come in here and had your time with your audience. Excuse me. Oh, she's a big whingy.
Oh, Astrid takes over the entire stream. I'm so sad.
She's so freaking cute.
I know, she is.
She's just a wee little cutie.
And I'm back. Sorry about that, guys.
Welcome back.
Hello. So, yeah, bronze dragons, breathe lightning, so they are off, going back towards the mountain to try and help clear out some of that rubble and potentially rescue these archaeologists that you guys just kind of yelled at and then left.
Yeah, well, we put a little topper on their little tunnel so that they wouldn't get flooded with lava.
I mean, realistically, you did everything you could, right?
Yeah.
After which, it just kind of becomes a point of, sending the different, dragon riders from the rainforest drow to the different parts of the island just to check on the other villages, the little settlements that are there. I say villages, settlements is actually more accurate. The largest place here is where you guys are currently staying, and even that in itself is just a big village. It's not like it's a massive it's not like it's a large town or a city or anything. So it's just a bunch of other settlements around the island that they're just sending them off to just kind of keep in touch with. So with that in mind, what I put to this is, for you guys, is there anything you guys want to do now as, it's safe, the tension that's in the air is starting to fade, people are realising, they're calling back the kind of larger oceanic dragons that have, like, mostly at this point, what you guys can see now, children and elderly on their backs. They're calling them back in. So they're turning around and coming back now that they know it's safe. Is there anything that you guys want to do at this point? As a party, as individuals,
okay?
anything? Kip and Hark are absolutely fine.
Okay. Just want to make sure that they were safe.
Kip's in the water.
Where's my husband?
Teddy. Teddy is round on the other side of the island. He took his big watery friend around, and that's that. As far as you know. However, today is an easy session, so I can guarantee you nothing bad has happened to Teddy.
Which we love.
I'm being honest. I'm being Jen. I'm still getting bad looks.
I wasn't thinking you didn't do anything to Teddy, but now I think that you did something to
I
Teddy.
didn't do anything to Teddy.
Don't touch my husband. He's been through enough.
I have to play him.
He's got you there.
So yeah, Teddy has went round to the other side of the island, presumably either to do like a check-in or pick people up on this large mist whale that he's formed a bond with. Whatever it is, he's went off on his own kind of rogue mission.
Rogue. Honor of his wife.
So, is there anything that you guys want to do?
Is there anyone that we can talk to about this, my new child?
The egg that you have. I mean,
Yes,
you certainly can.
the dusty egg that we don't know what kind of dragon it is, but it's just an extra.
You certainly can. There are certainly, I mean, for one, the egg keepers, the clerics that are there, the head of them, their matriarch would be probably one of the most knowledgeable people about dragon eggs and how to look after them and such. You could also speak to, I mean, like I've said, there are a few ancient dragons here on this island. Whether they're wild or whether they are bonded with someone, you're not sure. But you could always ask around the dragons. You know, there's lots of options here. So, of course.
I would like to go for the hedge cleric.
Okay, cool. So, as these egg keepers are leading, they're taking the eggs towards kind of the center of the village, where there is a large underground cavern, which is, you know, again, similar magic to those bags that I told you about, where they are rooms are made to fit certain environments. You can follow them back there, where you can see a woman with a female rainforest drow, and she's wearing, like, her clothes are made entirely of draconic scales. Like, you know, So like the edges of the dress are like a mix of like the deep red scales of like a red dragon's upper torso, but it's also got some of those kind of dappled mottled scales of the underbelly. When you get to the edges of it, it kind of like flares almost into the white scales of white dragons. The majority of the upper portion of her, kind of like neck high and long sleeve dress is metallic dragons, but in like not in like any kind of pattern, just kind of like scales here, there, and there, so that as she turns, it catches the light, and it's almost like it makes her difficult to see. And the cloak that she has on, which is kind of like it's almost like like one of those wraps where it kind of like hangs down on either side, hangs down the back, and you can kind of throw it over one side, and it seems to be made of like the membrane of like a dragon's wing. And as you approach her, she is going to come over to you, and she always does this same kind of greeting, like, when she's kind of one of those people that she doesn't shake your hand with one hand, she takes your hand with two. And instead of taking your hand like this, she almost like holds it like this. Or holds it
I love
up
her.
like that.
I love her so much, and I'm gonna protect her at all costs.
And so as you walk over, and she's on first, she's like, you might not be on first name terms with her, but she's on first name terms with every single person on this island. So she walks up to you and she's like, Jericho, I heard that you were part of the reason that these younglings made it back here. I'm very, very thankful for that. Thank you so much for the efforts in retrieving these eggs.
Absolutely. There was, and I look down at the egg that's currently strapped to my chest. An extra?
An extra? That is that is quite unusual. That we don't usually have extra. Do you mind if I?
Absolutely. And I will very gingerly remove the makeshift harness that I've made for this.
Okay. So she takes like a pair of very, very, very thin looking gloves and puts them on. And as she puts them on, you see draconic runes of all colours just flash. As the magic of these gloves activate, and she starts to place her hand on the egg and move it around, and then she takes out quite a strange looking set of tools for like a cleric or somebody that looks after eggs to be carried. If anything, you could be forgiven for thinking these are like archaeology tools. As she takes them out, she starts scrape and then brush and then scrape and brush, and she does this for about 10 solid minutes, every now and again just being like, just a little bit longer. And then she gets through to it, and she gets finally through this layer of dust and caked on debris. She gives it a tap. And very much like any dragon egg of the gemstone origin, it sounds almost like musical. Like, when you tap it, it's like, instead of it being like a, it's like a she taps on it, and she's like, oh my, that is very strange. That's incredibly strange. And she taps on it again. Then she kind of scrapes some of the layers away, and then she's like, curious. Very curious. Well, I can tell you some news, but this egg here is quite a mystery. Since the unification of dragons and such, and their return, roughly about 800 years ago, we've noticed different types of dragons, manifesting all over this world. We now have dragons which live entirely in the oceans, and we now have dragons which are born of, forests and the sand dunes of the western wastes and of the eastern sands, the shifting sands. But I've catalogued and seen an egg of every known species of dragon. This right here, I can tell you, is most definitely a gemstone dragon. Absolutely, 100% it's a gemstone dragon. But there's something very strange about this egg. And she's going to rotate it round to the little patch that she scraped away. She's going to go, it's red.
And that is weird.
Well, yes, very strange for a couple of reasons. So think about it like metallic dragons, okay? Now, the main types of metallic dragons that we are aware of are brass, bronze, gold, silver, and I always forget one, copper. Right? We know that they are overseen and governed by the draconic deity Bahamut, who is a platinum dragon. Well, we would never expect to see a platinum dragon egg. You know? Gemstone dragons come in the form of crystal dragons. They come in the form of amethyst dragons, sapphire dragons, emerald dragons, and I always get topaz dragons. Okay? Now, from what we know of gemstone dragons, there is no divine overseer of them. Through some massive culmination of events throughout some multiversal entity, the once living dragon that was the god of gemstone dragons was killed. Killed is less accurate. It's more like they were blasted apart into psychic fragments. Their name was Sardior. And Sardior was a ruby dragon. Now, people theorize that Sardior, Sardior never had consorts or anything like that, so no children, no eggs to speak of. But people theorize that throughout different aspects of the multiverse, through different strands of time and parallel worlds, shards of Sardior have landed and taken form. Some theorize as weapons or gemstones of power. It's not too far-flung to think that some aspect of Sardior could have manifested as an egg, which could essentially be the second coming, the second birth, a kind of like a reincarnation, so to speak. But that's a theory. That is a theory. This is the first time I've ever seen anything close to physical evidence.
Most important egg.
Either way, whether it's that or whether it's just that this is just a type of dragon that we have never seen before, this egg is very special. But there is a small issue with the egg, and that is that all dragons are capable of some kind of limited telepathic nudging when they're in their egg. Usually this will be towards their mother or towards the elf, the rider that they bond with. But I can't hear anything from this egg. I can't feel anything. It's as if there's no psychic register in there.
May I try?
If you have the capability, by all means. In fact, I would encourage anybody to try if it means that we can get some kind of word that this hatchling is okay.
I no longer have any sort of psychic connections. I'm not able to do that. However, Jericho is a mother.
Mm-hmm.
Jericho has been a mother.
Mm-hmm.
Jericho saved this egg. So Jericho goes crisscross applesauce next to this egg. Right where the scratched off, you can just barely see the ruby. She puts a finger on it, and she starts singing the lullaby that she sang to Fergus every night. The lullaby is a story of a small rogue running from a mistake, but it becoming the best adventure he has ever been on. And she sings very melodically, and while she's doing it, she's tapping it to the beat, like she heard as they were doing it, and seeing if she gets some sort of reaction. Because even if it doesn't work, it's gonna be cool as hell.
So first things first, what I want you to do is I do want you to roll me something for that, for the singing. But here's what I'm going to say on it, right? Do you have proficiency in performance?
No.
I would like you to roll performance with your proficiency modifier.
Hell yeah.
But I would like you to treat it as if it was expertise. So I want you to add on your...
So
proficiency
roll a
modifier.
persuasion check, essentially.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
I have expertise in persuasion. Perfect.
Cool.
I'm not a rogue anymore. I don't have. Ooh, that's still a really good roll. 11 plus 14 is 25.
So on a 25, I now need you to roll for me a D100.
Ooh. Mother, I hear you. I hear the song of our people.
93.
93.
93.
Okay, on a 93, you sit and you kind of sing this. And as you're singing it, you can, just over the sound you sing it, you can hear the head of the egg bearers. You can hear her kind of gasp, and out of your peripheral vision, because passive perception of stupid, you can you can see her just kind of like bring her hand to her mouth, and it isn't until kind of like it comes to the end of it that you can hear. You can like when she was tapping on the egg and you could hear the kind of musical notes, you can hear them reverberating. And it's got a sound very similar to like when you get crystal glasses and fill them with water and run your finger around it. It sounds like that. But it's matching the tune that you're singing. Okay. What's the best way to do it? Make me a wisdom saving throw. Okay. Oh wait, no, not wisdom.
You sure?
I think it's intelligence. Bear with me 2 moments.
Wisdom is so much better.
Just give me a moment. I spelt that entirely incorrectly. I don't know what the hell went on with me. That does say... So does this say... Does it say intelligence? It says intelligence. I'm going to do an intelligence saving throw from you.
Ooh, I'm going to use Indomitable.
Oh yeah!
How many more uses do I have of that? Because I feel like I used that already today. Oh, it's my last touch, so I only got one more roll.
You got this.
Come on. I want a dragon so bad, guys. I want it so bad.
You've got 2 people who can buff rolls in your corner right now.
Are
I rolled an
you
18.
with Jericho?
So it's a 21.
21. Phenomenal cosmic power.
Oh my god, that was adorable.
Okay. Halved, you will take 19 psychic damage.
Oh.
Now,
Fergus used to cry too.
because you passed that, I will allow you to make a wisdom saving throw. This will be with advantage because you did pass that.
16?
16.
Good. It's pretty good.
You get an image in your head. Or I say an image, a flurry of images. A grand tower built on top of a city, woven entirely of magic. You, for a second, are suspended in amongst the floating essence of the cosmos. And you can see revolving all around you, you can just see floating towers, spires, dizzying heights. You see steeping buildings with completely open walls, as if the ceiling, the roof, and the area that people walked in, the rooms and such, were completely unconnected by walls. But yet you can vaguely perceive, as if looking through very, very thin glass, you can perceive walls there. You see golden tipped domes, observation platforms. You can see gemstones floating all around the sky. And then emerging from one of these towering citadels, you see this form. Now, Jericho, everybody at this point has, I mean, you've been here for a long enough time, you recognise the shape of a dragon. You've seen ancient dragons, so you've seen dragons that are gargantuan in size. This dragon dwarfs these gargantuan dragons. This dragon's body is so large that the island that you are currently staying on, you believe that if this dragon were to have spread its wings, its shadow would blot out the island.
It's crazy.
Glittering scales, which you could be forgiven for looking at this and thinking a red dragon, until the light hits these scales and it's like refracted rather than just glinting. And within each refraction you see different colours of scales. Glinting off of one of these lights, you would see something along the lines of like sapphires and emeralds and topaz and amethyst and a dizzying array of crystalline colours. And then it turns its eyes towards you. And it's at that point that it is like you're pulled back. And all of that happens in the space of the blink of an eye. But the last image you receive before your eyes become your own again is of a small I say small because dragon hatchlings are literally small creatures. They come out about the size of like a grown adult dog. You see an image of yourself sitting, Teddy, Fergus, and in your lap, curled up, as if floating in the centre of an egg. You can see a small dragon hatchling. And it's quite dull coloured, as most draconic hatchlings are. They are quite dull coloured. But before your vision becomes your own again, a glint of light bounces off one of its scales. And it refracts.
Oh.
So, you have had enough run-ins with psychic energies to understand that whatever it was that did that, especially if it was a child and it didn't do it willingly, if that's just like random psychic output, it's incredibly powerful. Most gemstone dragons are quite powerful psychically, but this is quite intensely powerful.
And after the images, you can see the cleric and anyone that's around her. She's got like tears and she's smiling. Of course, little one. Of course. Oh, Teddy's. I'm not asking Teddy. Yes, I'll be your mother. Yes. I love you. she's so excited right now because that look of just like what it felt was can I join, can I be a part of this, and she's just yes, of course. And she puts her hands on both sides of the egg and she puts her forehead to it, and she's so happy right now. For 1 second, for a split second, she's not thinking about she's not thinking about her son Fergus, but she's just taking in the serotonin, this dopamine, this something needs my help, and I can do something about it right now. And I look at the cleric, and they're in there. They showed me a big red ruby. It was a big dragon that had the scales looked like multicolor. Like it wasn't just ruby, it was sapphires and topaz and all these different colors. And then there was an image of me, my husband, and my son with the egg on my lap.
She's going to look at you and she's going to say, sapphire, emerald, topaz, crystal. Sapphire, emerald, topaz. And then she's going to go into where the eggs are stored. And as she goes inside, she's muttering to herself constantly muttering under her breath. And she's muttering all these different gemstones, you know. She's muttering like, you know, amethyst, crystal, emerald, sapphire, topaz. And she goes over and she starts to look over the walls. And she puts her finger on a part of the wall. This is very important. This is very important.
I'm like waddling with behind her with the egg.
Come back tonight. I need to do research. I need to confer. But if this is what I think it is, I think that we have something.
Okay. I should probably ask my husband.
Do not. And then she's going to take your arm, but this is the first time that she's ever. It's not harsh and it's not painful, but it's firm. It's no longer that gentle hold. It's like a firm holding you in place. And she's going to say, "Do not let anyone, take that egg. Do not let it out of your sight. Keep it with you at all times."
Do you have an actual harness and not just like leather belts? Because I actually would like to.
She reaches out and takes one of the kind of saddlebags that these people have, and she takes that and opens it up. And as she opens it, similar to a bag of holding, where the opening expands, and she holds it out to you.
And as Jericho takes the egg and she gives it a little kiss, and then she puts the egg within the saddlebag.
And then what she does is as it closes over, she places her hand and runs it almost along like the seam line at the top of the bag, and she speaks a word in Draconic, and it shrinks down into the size of like a satchel, like a normal satchel. And essentially this will work. It'll just be like a bag of holding, but specifically only for this egg. Can't put anything else in it, and it'll change size to become wearable.
Yeah, can she teach me the word in Draconic?
Yeah, she teaches you the word. Yeah, she teaches you the
Beautiful.
word.
I will be back tonight. Thank you so much. And Jericho puts the satchel on her, and she kind of like keeps her hand. I think at this point, there's not many times where her hand is removed from the satchel. Mm-hmm. She's kind of always touching it at this point, just making sure it's there.
Okay. Thank you very much, Jericho. I'm now going to jump to 8 and Fezit and see if there's anything that they have got that they want to do. Guys, this is the, you see Jericho go off towards where the egg bearers are going and taking these eggs. Is there anything that you guys would like to do?
I'm going to install a car-seated Pinchy for the egg.
Fez is going to install a car seat.
We're putting in a car seat.
Okay. Fez, you've built like mad mental machinery before. I'm not going to make you roll to build a car seat. Okay. So Fez, it kind of as Jericho walks away, just yep, I'm gonna go build something, and you go off to go and build a car seat.
Pheasant already knows that.
Mentally measuring the egg with my hands.
I love the idea of like a human mentally measuring this egg would be like this and that, but you as a
It's
normal
about
like,
2 pheasants. It's about 2 pheasants.
it's about the same height as Pheasant, this egg. Maybe just a little bit taller, actually, because it has something the size of Pheasant inside it.
It's a pheasant and a half.
When the dragon hatches, can I ride?
Absolutely.
You won't be able to until it becomes a wormling. Then it becomes medium-sized. Then
When it's not the newborn.
Then you'll be able to eat it. Okay, so nothing for Fez. What about 8?
I think she's just gonna kind of just find a place in the sand to just kind of sit, because she had all those feelings before that she hasn't really processed, and then she was like, distraction, hooray, and now it's like, distraction gone. Oh no, now I have to deal with the feelings again. So I think she's just gonna settle in the sand. And like some of those feelings, like they were before, are starting to manifest as like little sparks, which like if Fez saw it, it would be reminiscent of when she was broken, but she's not physically broken. But it's manifesting that way with her emotions. She's just gonna try and work through the emotions, probably not very well, because she's overwhelmed.
Okay. So you're just sitting down, kind of trying to process everything that's happened.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And do you do that right where you are, or do you wander off a little bit of ways?
She'd probably... She doesn't want to be in people's way.
Okay.
So she'd probably try to find a place where she's sitting where, like, people aren't going to have to, like, walk around her constantly.
Okay.
So just a little bit out of the way.
While you sit down, you're going over all this in your mind. There's footsteps in the sand. Someone comes up behind you, and you're just kind of like, "Are you all right?"
Hmm?
There's
Look up.
there's a rainforest drow. Kind of weird complexion. Well, they're all kind of like varying tones of green. Theirs is kind of leaning towards like aquamarine. You know, kind of that bluish green color. And their eyes are weird. They have like weird W pupils.
Oh.
Like similar to that of like, you know, cuttlefish.
Oh.
But they've got a big wide smile on their face, and they're like, you're sitting over here or like by yourself, and I just figured I'd come and, are you okay?
I am functioning. I do appreciate you checking in on me.
And they kind of look at you, squint their eyes, and then they sit down next to you and they go, but the thing is, I didn't ask if you were functioning, you know. It's like asking me, are you breathing? You know, I'm asking if you're okay.
Kind of, I guess. It is complicated.
Okay, I can definitely get that.
How are you
I'm
with
doing
all of the craziness that just happened?
I'm very lucky. A lot of people here are very lucky. Very lucky that you and your entourage, your friends, your motley crew, is that rude to say? I'm going with it anyway.
We're very odd looking.
They're lucky that you were all here to give a hand. What's your passive perception, 8?
26.
26. Okay, you can feel the wave, like, vibrating. But you're familiar enough with wave now that it's not like a vibration of like, oh, I'm gonna do some. It's a vibration of like, when somebody. You ever watched The Lord of the Rings Two Towers with somebody that's already watched it, and it gets to the bit where Aragorn kicks the helmet, and you can just feel them next to you, like,
Yeah.
as if they're going to go. Did you know when he kicked that? Like and every now and again, wave is just like in your head, just going,
Yes.
and then like they give you like the
You cut out for a second there.
oh sorry
Okay,
can
now
you
you're
hear me?
back.
Right, okay, cool. They give you like they're giving you like the telekinetic version of
And we know that Ada is great with nonverbals.
absolutely. It is amazing at reading between the lines.
That's why she's got a very low charisma. She can tell with her wisdom something's up, but she's not always sure why.
You can roll an insight check against this attitude of
Okay.
waves to see if you can tell what he's trying to say.
Right. That is a 26.
He goes like, "Wife, that's him. That's him.
Wait. You mean like him?
Like this guy seems pretty cool."
Do you want to talk to him? Do you want me to hand you over to him? Do you want to... This is a big deal for you.
They didn't tell us this part in the handbook. I was just about
She's
to
gonna
tell.
crap with and be like, do you want to hold this?
He kind of sees it and chuckles and is like, "No point really having the disguise anymore, is there?"
No, not really. Yeah,
You kinda-
Wave is very excited to meet you.
Kind of leans back, looks over, and then like he just kind of like flicks his hand a little bit, and then as he does that, the guise drops and he grows maybe about a good 3 or 4 feet in height. Is now sitting next to you. Actually, probably only a little bit taller than you now. Maybe about 9 feet tall. Is this really tall sea elf? With these really, really tight braids like bundled up on their head, but it's like they go from like so navy blue that it's almost black, fades to blue, and then at the very tips of the braids it's made of literal water. And they have these spots of bioluminescence over them, and they have like sandals on, and they have this kind of air, this aura of like the guy's basically wearing a puka shell necklace. But not like I bought this at like a thrift shop because the 90s is coming back still. Like you can see the leather thread. This guy's like found bits of shells that he likes and been like, "Oh, that's really cool," and like put it on a necklace and then just tied it up and he's just added to it. And he kind of manifests and he kind of looks down and he's like, "I thought it was like, about time we kind of met."
How are you here? Last time you were like, I can't get back to the realms. How did you get here?
So sorry. Sorry about that. Well,
you're good.
basically, you've changed things. You all, like you and everybody else did. You guys went to that place. And because of you, something came back. There wasn't a way to fix everything because nothing was following its natural order anymore. There was no natural order. And then you did something in that other world, wherever you were, wherever your souls were, and for some reason, nature has kind of come to life a little bit.
Oh, we found a nature spirit, like a spirit of autumn. That was probably it.
Right then. Okay. So you have my trident, right? Right. That you know.
Wave.
Right. Yeah. Wave. Hi, Wave. Long time. I let you use that trident so you can do a job for me, right?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't done this in about 100 and so years, so I don't know how I'm supposed to talk to people.
I've never done this before, so you're doing great.
Right. Okay. Amazing. Okay. Well, I'll do it a little bit. 8. Would you mind terribly if I was to ask you to do as a tiniest, easiest, teensy-weensy little favour?
Sure.
I need you to find the other nature spirits.
Well, we might have to go back to that place then.
Rules, and my dad is an arsehole. Since you did that, things don't follow the original rules they used to.
Okay.
Things that were once bound by contracts and ancient rituals and sorry, I'm trying to find words that aren't the words I'm not allowed to say, but I'm not my brother. He's quite smart. I'm not. Basically, all the words that were in place to make things operate the way they did are not in place anymore. And things that were once locked up in certain places are no longer bound to those places.
Okay. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Because it sounds a little bit of both.
Yes and yes.
Okay.
Now, what this means is that nature has been kickstarted. Things are going to start going back to a natural cycle. But in the most severe cases possible. Summer is not going to be, oh, look, it's nice and sunny outside. Summer is going to be, that is a big burny ball of death in the sky. Winter won't be, oh, look at the lovely little frosting all over the ground. It's going to be, why is there a frozen person in my garden?
Okay.
And the sooner someone can fix that, the sooner that, things can go back to normal and the world will start to kickstart itself back into, moving in normalcy. We can start to reverse all of the issues.
Okay.
Now you said
Okay.
you said that you found the spirit of autumn.
Yes.
Okay.
He was very nice. He is with our friend Echo in the Feywild right now.
Shit, I was worried about that. Okay, we can't get there. We do not know how to get there. There's no way that we can go.
But I can always die again. And go and see if I can find the others.
Absolutely fucking not.
You guys don't
I've
have
died
to
enough
come.
times,
We'll just
thank
do
you.
it.
She's got a score to settle with Strife anyway, so. She promised Strife she'd pay a visit, so.
And he stops and it's like, panic state, and he goes, okay, here's what to do. If it's the autumn spirit, then that means that my brother will probably start waking up soon. So, I need you to be on the lookout for anything that could be the sign of some kind of nature spirit. Livestock randomly giving birth to 19 young when they're not supposed to. Random wildfires in places where there's not supposed to be wildfires. Spontaneous snowstorms. I don't know, a random patch on the continent suddenly turned green again. Anything out of the ordinary. It's probably the sign of something.
Okay. And do. And if I see those, what do I do?
Go there. Go there
Okay.
and try and find whichever of the spirits is there.
Okay. I can do that.
And 8. Good luck.
Also, I have a question.
Oh,
Have you ever heard of the Beyond?
the beyond, as in like, you know.
No, like the astral sea, and then there's something beyond the astral sea.
Well, you're talking about the outer planes.
Yeah.
Yes, but I've never been. Why?
Oh, the fleet is trying to open up a rift between that, and apparently there will be things that can undo reality that come through. So I didn't know if you had any advice about that.
No, I have no understanding of what's there. I know of someone who might be able to give you more information, but, well, in the nicest way, knowing that I at all don't blame you remotely for it. The only temple that belonged to him, where you could maybe try and get in touch with him, you kind of destroyed.
Ah, which one?
My sister's
You've
husband.
destroyed like 5.
My sister's husband, the Nadris. People that worship him, that worship the moon, they were tasked with keeping eyes on the stars, should anything try to invade this world. And, well, you know, there was a temple built specifically for him in the Starlight Woods, and you kind of did the...
Man, this wasn't one that Fez destroyed. I was really hoping that, but okay, it was the one I did, just on my own. Fez
not
will be so
always
proud
me.
of me.
But there is a place, continent to the west of here, a place called Greca. There's an island off of its eastern coast.
We know Greca.
There's an island off the southeastern coast. There is a temple there. A temple filled with pools. And these pools are... The temple is... It belongs to a group called the Watchers. And they are...
We've been there. We met a friend there.
If you go there and you figure out how they did it, they had some way of contacting beings from all kinds of pantheons and planes of existence. You might be able to get a hold of Lunadris through there. Or find somebody who is directly blessed by him, but I have no idea of anybody else that is like that.
Okay. We have a friends there. I don't know if those friends are still alive. It was very odd what was going on because we saw many of this version of this person, but we can do that.
Okay. So, in layman's terms, try and find the nature spirits and do whatever you have to do to turn them back to normal. And if you want to find out more information about this thing, go try and speak to my brother-in-law.
Okay. Question.
Yes.
Can you crush, let's see. Oh, doing the math. Like, this, whole rest of this diamond.
What do you mean, crush it?
Like, into dust.
I can't crush it, but I can... It takes a diamond and then it moves his hand, and as he moves it, it gets coated in water. And then from this small sphere of water, it starts to churn until it's nothing but white froth, but it sounds like it's the roaring of a tsunami. And it goes on for a solid 2 or 3 minutes before he then encompasses the globe of water with his hand, and then does this, and as he does that, the water evaporates and diamond dust trickles into the palm of his hand.
Perfect.
And then he pours it into your hand, and he's like, water's patient. You know, even the tallest and most sturdy of mountains can be turned to dust over enough time.
That is very true. Now,
Why you
because
get?
the
Why
way
you? Why you
that I
giving me those eyeballs, Johnny? Why?
I too watch Doctor Who.
Oh shit! I forgot that. I forgot that episode. Yeah, the mad water people, and they're trying to get in through the door, and she's like, it's hermetically sealed, and he's like, water's patient. Fuck! I didn't even think of that.
When you accidentally plagiarize.
David Tennant, I have the utmost respect for you as a fellow Scotsman. Just give me this line, okay? It worked really well. Sorry. Please continue what you were saying.
Oh, so the way that I help the autumn spirit is I used a spell, and I had to have some diamond dust for it, and now I have enough diamond dust for many spells.
I'm very glad that I can be of assistance to you. We're counting on all three of you. No pressure.
Okay. I mean, we've got so many things on our list of things to do. Like, why not just add, fixing the spirits? Like,
Maybe you'll cross some off along the way.
Exactly. Old wave just for me, just so Wave can say hi.
Takes a hold and he goes, "Hi, Wave." yeah, you're doing a grand job, but you really, yeah, you definitely, yes, I'm sure 8 is a very, very good. Okay, yeah, yes, definitely,
I've had this same exact conversation with my mother.
I completely 100%. Okay. Well, I have to go. Your break. And then he hands the trident back to you. I forgot how chatty they can be.
Mm-hmm. He's a great conversationalist.
I'm glad it found you.
I'm glad that Fez let me hold on to him, because Fez is the first one that found him.
I think it wasn't about letting you do something. I think that we have a way of stumbling into the things that are supposed to be for us.
I can see that.
And then he's going to stand up and kind of step into the surf a little bit. And as he steps into the surf, you see his feet disappear as if he becomes one with the ocean. And he's like, I don't have all of my power back yet. But I figure I can start doing something at least. You've given us back that.
Hooray.
Good luck.
You too.
They walk into the surf, and as they walk in, they just become the ocean. Until eventually they're just a noticeable current moving off out into the open sea.
So cool.
Is that everything for you, 8?
Yep, she's like, no distraction. I don't have to think about my anymore.
I don't have to think about how much I'm in love with this person.
Okay.
Aw, Kip. I'm gonna kill him so bad. I'm gonna make him die painfully. Then if that's the case, we're gonna jump quickly to night time.
Can I ask something really quick?
Oh yeah, of course. What would you like to do?
In this time, would Fez and I have been able to go through our cash and prizes.
Oh, definitely.
Last, for those ago, I don't know if it was said in the recap, but Jericho had a fucking.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
Do you wish
I
to?
honestly,
do you
I'm
wish
gonna
to
have to go back and watch it.
Do you wish to regale the people of the list of cash and prizes that you have?
We got very first was a little bundle, then it was a chest, and then it was a staff, and then it was another chest, if I remember correctly.
Very good.
Well, there were 5 things. I remember very distinctly it was 5.
I thought it was 4.
Yeah. No, it was 5. There was like 3 chests and like 2 loose things.
Heathcliff, do not scratch on the door.
8 is correct. There are 2 loose items, one of them wrapped in a loose cloth, 3 chests, and 1 staff. So, when it comes to identifying these things, only 2 of them really need anything to do with the identify spell, because the chests are all fairly easy. They're just chests that have 1,000 gold worth of jewels and such inside them. You know. That's it.
Money.
I call
So-
it diamonds. Any diamonds?
So how many chests was that? 2?
3 of them. So there's 3 chests, so 3,000. Just give yourself 3,000, or divvied up, or however you want to do it.
1,000 gold each. Perfect.
1,000 gold each worth of gold and jewels, no diamonds.
There's definitely like a box that we open. It looks like a gem, and you open it up, and it has all the gibbets for a beautiful gem that is definitely gone.
Absolutely. 100%. I'm making it official now. That's exactly what happens.
Oh, this is for you. Hey, oh, someone already got to it. Sorry.
It's okay.
She'll also probably just let Fez and Jericho have her gems because she's like,
Oh, can't use any of this stuff.
no,
It's still
throw it
money.
away.
Gems can be exchanged for goods and services, such as diamonds.
Not in this economy.
Not in this economy.
Inflation.
Mostly it's just no supply.
Well, that too. Apocalyptic
Maybe Crush Bang and
inflation.
Boom would have some because they're the ones who told me about how there's the vault in the Iron Mountains of diamonds.
Crash Bang and Boom have got a way to find anything, as long as you're willing to pay the price for it.
Paste.
Then I'll take
Special
that 1,000
paste.
and just be like,
Give me. Give me the information I need.
1,000 gold would
Is
buy you
not
a
good with
lot of
money.
information. Okay, so the investigation check. Are you casting Identify on these items?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. So the Identify spell gives you that both of these items are of draconic origin. As surprisingly, most of the things you're going to find on this
The
island.
Dragon Island.
Okay, so for the item that is wrapped in a cloth bundle, as you undo it, it's a sword. Specifically, a sword in the style of like a katana. The sheath that it's in is silver, but it feels like leather. And you can tell after seeing clothing from certain high up level of people here that this sheath is made from silver dragon scales. The hilt of the blade, the hilt of the sword is, besides from the kind of like, deep grey thread and string that's woven around the handle of it, it is mirrored. It is so brightly silverite polished that it's like a mirror. And when you draw the blade, it is that kind of silver where the edges are like a pale blue. And it is... You can see that faint clouding of cold coming off it. And what you have here is a sword that had once belonged... Oh wait, no, you didn't use Legend Lore, you used Identify. It is a silver dragon katana. The katana is always cold to the touch, and a flurry of snow and ice trails behind it whenever it's swung. This long sword has the finesse property, and when you hit with an attack using it, the target takes an additional 1d4 cold damage. You can speak a word in Draconic, a command word, and swing the weapon in front of you, and when you do, a blast of freezing wind erupts in a 30-foot cone from the blade. Any creature within that area has to make a DC 15 con save, or they get struck by a flurry of icy shrapnel. A creature will take 2d6 slashing, 2d6 piercing, and 2d6 cold damage on a failed save, or half as much damage on a successful save. Once this property of the sword has been used, it cannot be used again until the next dawn.
I want to try to make a history check on this thing to see if I can find out more about the sword.
By all means. History check. You get advantage on those type of history checks, don't you?
I get expertise.
Expertise then, go ahead.
Uh, 24.
24. This blade was wielded by, as you look over it, these are fairly commonly known about within those who create weapons. These are incredibly rare nowadays, but at one point they were fairly commonplace. It was fairly common that when you became a member of this dragon riding organisation, when you'd formed a bond with your dragon so intensely deep that it was said you guys could move as if you were both parts of the one body. It was actually fairly common to see people, dragon riders of exceptional skill, fighting while standing on their dragon's tail. That they were that confident in how they moved while this dragon flew. These blades were often forged for them, using one of the dragon's scales specifically in the forging of the blade to give it properties of that dragon. Now, most people wouldn't know where to look, but you, as a creator, as somebody who knows about these legendary weapons, or in this case an incredibly rare weapon, you know where to look for the mark. So you can find the mark that has like who created it and the name of the weapon. Do you understand Draconic?
No.
Okay, so you don't know, you can't read the name of it, but you've found the mark, the maker's mark essentially, and you know, you can see what would be the name, but you would need to find somebody that understands Draconic.
I don't suppose either of you guys. Nah.
So, that is the first item. That is the one that was wrapped up in the bundle. Okay? When it comes to the second one, you are correct in what you were saying, that it is a staff. I'm just looking for the stat block for it, so I'm just going to vamp that it is a cool staff. of definitely draconic, or I've got too many saved items. Okay, just bear with me a moment while I find the stat block for this. Where are you? I save far too many things. Have I not moved you over yet? That would be a very me thing to do. That is what it was. Okay, cool. So, the staff that you have uncovered here is, again, definitely of draconic origin. You can see from the carvings and the runes all around it. But strangely, it is made of wood. It has green cloth wrapped around the midsection of it, and the top of it looks like a sapling. You know, lots of like twisting little branches that form almost like this little twisted inspired cage with these bright green and yellow leaves glistening off of it. What you have here is called a dragonwood staff. This staff is made from trees that grow around this island. Specifically trees that are blessed and encouraged to grow by the presence of forest dragons, which are a fairly new draconic species. And when I say new, I mean within the past 1,000 years. They have cropped up. These staffs are fairly rare nowadays, but not quite as rare as the sword. The sword is definitely the most rare of the two items, but these staffs were more symbols rather than staffs supposed to be utilised in, you know, combat and such. However, they're not without their magic. This one that you have cast Identify on, it allows you to never be lost when you are moving through a forest. As long as the staff is on your person, you cannot be lost in a forest by anything other than magical means. Any survival check that you make to navigate a forest will be made with advantage. The staff also holds 4 charges, and it regains 1d4 plus 1 charges each day at dawn. While holding it, you can use an action to expend the necessary number of charges to cast one of the following spells. If you use 1 charge, you can cast Goodberry. If you use 2 charges, you can cast Speak with Plants. And if you use 3 charges, you can cast Find the Path. That's what this does. And Fez, no check needed on this one. These were, at the time when this place was in its heyday before the apocalypse, these were fairly commonly made. Anybody that was bonded to a forest dragon would probably have some kind of rod or wand or staff like this, which would do essentially the same job. They're not in the same league as like the sword and such like that. However, nowadays, somebody who cares about the heritage of this island would maybe pay a pretty penny or, you know, trade something in return for it.
Do we see the drow who took the spear around here?
If you would like to, now that you guys are kind of, you know, moving into the nighttime of it, you can certainly make an investigation check if you want to go looking for him.
Let's get him.
Investigation. Okay, that's a 21, right?
Okay.
Am I able to also
Yes.
help look?
You can give the help action if you wish there, Jericho.
Does that mean I roll again?
Yep, you roll with advantage.
Key. Okay, that got caught. The 21 was higher. I only have a +7 to my investigation. She's not as... 8 is not a smart person. I only have the +7 because I've got, like, proficiency in it.
So what was the total there again, please? 21 it was, yeah?
21.
with 21, you keep your eye peeled. You're not actively hunting them down, but you keep your eye peeled for them. And it's as everybody's kind of got settled back into the village, and, you know, they're talking about, like, you know, maybe perhaps bringing the settlements back here, just until they can kind of bump up defenses, take a scope of the place. Where you can see kind of, like, you know, creeping off towards the forest in the dead of night. This hooded rainforest drow with this long polearm wrapped up on their back. Okay, make me, whoever it is that's going up to try and grab hold of them, make me it's an attack roll. An unarmed attack roll.
Oh gosh, somebody else should do that. Oh, actually, no, my unarmed strike isn't terrible.
Fastball special. Throw me.
I mean,
I
I
have a
do
19
get...
strength.
And I do have a pretty high dex, so I could throw you.
Toss me.
Can I throw Fez to snatch this drow?
You certainly
throw
can
me
if you would
all
like
day.
to.
Cool. Just like the cartoon, like Fez turns into like a little ball. Chucking at the drow.
Ooh. Oh, I rolled really low.
Okay, so you pick up Fez and you hurl him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's going to be a dex base attack roll
Okay.
with advantage because Fez can angle himself in there.
Okay. Nice.
Are you proficient with Fez?
Exactly how good are you at throwing pheasants?
I mean, I think this is her first time doing it, so I don't think too proficient.
Depends on how annoying.
But
Abe
that's
thinks
a
pheasant
natural
is.
20. So
Oh my god, yes!
this is like a fastball. Just, no. Fez is just like a little
tucks
bullet
and
in
rolls.
the air.
The Randy Johnson sidearm.
You hurl him back and you throw him and you curl this guy like the perfect toss to the running back. Alright? You hurtle through, and as Fez is moving, Fez, you like put your hands out in front of you and like lock them and like twist yourself so that you're spiraling in the air, and you're gonna collide with this kid. And he is knocked to the ground, sprawling over. The spear tumbles away from him, and he kind of gets up. The hood kind of falling askew, and is like, I found that.
Grab the spear, grab the spear.
You grab the spear and say, "Hey, get that! That is mine. I found it."
Actually, if I remember correctly, I unlocked it, so that would make it mine.
Logic.
You can't have it.
But we
It's
do.
already in my hands.
Logic.
But and you can see he's like floundering, trying to find some
So
kind of.
why don't, instead of we trying to figure out the lie you're going to tell me, why don't you tell me why you were looking for the spear and give me the reason why I should give this back to you in a truthful manner? Realize that I am a mother and I will know when you're lying. I am so not insightful.
But I am, so I got you covered. I'll just like whisper it to you, be like,
Look, sounds plausible.
Jericho, make me a persuasion check.
I'm very persuasive. Oh wow. So that's a 19 plus 14. 33.
so 33, babe.
Nice.
I'm a mother. You will tell me the truth.
I am a mother. Please do not try with this thick, like Russian-esque accent. Just don't try. It's not a good idea.
In Mother Russia, we do not lie. Lies fear us.
I will send bear on you.
A water bear. Sea bear! Like in SpongeBob.
He takes this kind of like deep breath and then like, you should give it to me because it's mine.
Why was it locked away in a mountain then?
because technically it's not mine, but technically it is.
Like, it's your family's kind of heirloom kind of thing?
It belongs to my dad.
Uh-huh. And where is he?
My dad is in the village.
And does he know that you tried to steal his spear?
No, he doesn't.
Will you get in big trouble because you're in an active volcano trying to get his spear?
No, because that would mean he'd actually have to acknowledge my existence.
Oh, so this is the angsty teenager kind of... Okay, now I'm understanding. So is this I got the spear to prove my worth? Or, I got the spear and you don't have it kind of deal?
No, this is you have spent so long pushing me down that I'm going to do the one thing you couldn't do thing.
But I'm the one that opened it.
Yes, you picked a lock that a bunch of people made to put it in a case. But I know what that spear can do.
And that is...
Are you going to give it back to me?
If I like your answers, maybe.
We don't know the story about how this island came to be what it is. We know that thousands of years ago it was the place where dragons were and where the original riders started. But then something happened, some kind of catastrophe, and dragons were believed to be extinct from this world.
Mm-hmm.
But then there was this dark shadow that lingered over this entire land. Twisted and tainted anything that came here. People that left the island would rant and rave, saying that they lost part of themselves here. But then an orcess and her husband brought some kind of dragon here. And the both of them, with this dragon that they managed to raise and nurture and hatch, they were able to fix this island. And from them began a new line of no longer just dragon riders. We were people that we bonded with these creatures. We helped these creatures. That dragon that they brought here laid 6 eggs. None of them hatched. It was said that one of the original bloodlines of those riders would eventually bring forth someone who could hatch one of those eggs. And if I was able to come back with one of those hatchlings in proof that I did that, I'd be able to claim my name.
So you're going to open an egg with the spear?
I'm going to use the spear to get into where those eggs are. And then I'm going to open...
Oh! It's like a key.
Yes.
Oh, okay then. And I throw the spear back at him.
He catches it. And then he very quickly ducks and picks up the cloth and wraps it up again.
Prove yourself. It's an honorable mission.
You're not going to tell anybody where I went, are you?
I don't even know what your name is.
That's also very true.
But I can cast locate creature, so just know if you would lie, I will know where you are.
I wouldn't lie to us if I were you. If there is something that you are holding back, this is the time to tell us. Because if something happens to you and we find out that you lied to us, it will not end well. That's not the threat. That's just a lot of things happen around us. It doesn't end well normally. That's not the threat. That just happens.
Yeah, we kind of bring catastrophe wherever we go.
I'm not lying. There would be no
I don't
benefit.
think you are.
There would be no benefit to me lying.
I hope that you succeed. I have my own dragon I need hatching, and I put my hand on the saddle again, my satchel again.
He takes a couple of steps back, back, and then he turns and runs.
We let him, I think. He has a pheasant-sized knot on his head, though.
So, you guys have let the child, young,
Hey, you said a young drow,
young,
like a young adult.
young adult, like
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking like young adult.
like
if it was
like
if it-
17, 18.
If you were saying like Fergus age, this would have been a very different story.
No, it's like 17, 18. You know.
Oh, let him. He's not my kid. That's someone else's problem.
I love how that's where the line's drawn. I will help any child as long as they are mine.
I helped enough. I listened to his story. If I thought that at any point that he was going to be in danger, I would have said no. However, I told him, give me all information. I will make judgment. I get as much information. Doesn't sound like a bad idea. He needs to go prove himself. He's having an angsty emo moment. It's okay. Sometimes we just have to work through that shit. Normally, we just dye our hair and flip our hair to the side. But, like, spears work too.
It sounds like an origin story to me. I'm just saying.
I know, he's starting his backstory.
Yeah, he's gonna come back with character levels. It's gonna be awesome.
If Jericho dies, I'm coming back as him.
Yes.
New NPC unlocked. Okay. So, I have to take a note of that.
Bran will remember this.
Bran liked this.
Little butterfly icon in the corner.
Actions have consequences.
Never
So-
seem to learn. Never to learn.
He's went off to go and do this. What do you guys want to do from here?
So terrible. A is really tempted to actually go tell Luca that whole interaction just to make sure. But
That's
is
up
she
to
a
you.
Snitch? She kind of is. She snitches on me all the time.
Oh, is it gonna snitch? Is it gonna do it?
I think she'll wait till morning so that the kid at least has a head start.
It is the party pooper of the group.
I mean, she did tuck Jericho literally under her arm when Jericho wanted to go to the armory, so...
I still am pissed about that. I mean, like, you had to bring that up. I said no to... I had...
Jericho might be a
Cash
mother, but
and
Nate is a mom.
prizes.
You got a cool katana and a stick.
That's... I already have a sword.
Yeah, no, you got another one. Dual wielding, baby.
No, I'm looking for something to throw.
Throw
You
the
can throw a
sword. It's
katana.
finesse.
Does the long sword with finesse have the thrown property as well?
You can throw it.
There you go.
Look,
I think
I don't
we'll
have the
tie a
throw
rope to
property either. That
To
works
the hilt,
just fine.
so you can throw it and then pull it back.
Like I'm fishing. This isn't disrespectful to any cultures.
You're just basically doing what Grog did to his axe and just attaching a chain to it just so you can hurl it and then like yank it back.
Exactly.
I mean, it would work. I think the only thing I would like to do before we go to bed is I do need to have a conversation with Teddy really quick.
That's so valid.
Yeah, sorry, that's something that I should have said. Teddy returns, just before nightfall. What he was doing was he was going around to where the lava was pouring down and getting his big whale buddy to breach and slash down to cause waves.
He's such a good boy. He's such a good boy.
Yeah, well, going from a sea elf stat block going to a paladin stat block gave him a slight boost in intelligence. He went from, I believe, a 10 in intelligence to a... Where is he? $15.
Smarter than 8.
Oh my god, Andy he's doing great. We love him. I'm so proud of him. It was a great idea.
Oh, yet another one of those to add in. I didn't expect this guy to become a fighty NPC. I thought he was just going to be a backstory NPC.
Now he can
Why
count
not-
to 20 without taking his shoes off.
Why not the both?
Why not both? So you wanted to have a
You guys
conversation
haven't-
with Teddy.
You guys haven't seen, but there's a Hero Forge with Teddy, and he is scrumptiddly-umptious.
I think I've actually edited that to give him a bit more presence. While I go and figure
This is a present for me.
Presents, not presents.
It's the same fucking thing.
¿Por qué no los dos? Why not both?
Ooh, you can just
We
speak
can look
Spanish to me.
respectfully. Okay, we can look respectfully.
He's my husband. I'll be disrespectful.
Exactly.
While I look for that, you're looking to speak to Teddy. What about Echo and Fez? Is there anything that you guys are looking to do?
Being 8.
Yes, sorry. It's because I'm focused on 4 different things at once. You're like, ugh.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I don't do well with it.
8's probably just gonna power down because she knows the feelings are still there, the sad feelings, the feelings of inadequacy, the guilt. But she's like, you can't catch me if I shut down. And she's got enough to worry about. She's got, new jobs to do. So she's just gonna power down and focus on those jobs.
You can't get me if I'm not awake to be got.
Exactly.
Like a minute after the shutdown sequence, Fez walks in with 3 margaritas, just kind of looks around and goes, just puts one in front of 8 and goes off to find Jericho.
Oh, bad.
Okay, so Echo shuts down. Fez, you were going off to find Jericho.
Yeah, it's margarita time. That sounds so much funnier when my voice is shot.
It's margarita
It's
time.
staying away today in Margaritaville.
I'm not going to try to sing right now.
That's all we can sing of that song before we get copyrighted. So
Pretty much, that's it. That's all we get before that DMC hammer comes a falling. So if you're going to find Jericho, I'm going to let Jericho do their talk with Teddy first. Okay? So Jericho, you wanted to talk to Teddy.
One, that was brilliant what you did with the big fish guy. Oh my god, what's his name? It's been 3 weeks, I forgot. His big fish friend.
Oh, gosh.
I know.
Shamu.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, Shamu would have been so much easier.
It's definitely not Shamu. Give me a moment. I have so many Mistwales that actually have names that I can't remember which one it is, but I'm going back to...
Paku.
Paku! You and Paku did brilliantly today. But
It is
something
Paku.
happened. Yeah.
I
Something
got
happened in the mountain that we should probably talk about.
Oh,
You remember how Fergus always wanted the pet? And we always said, no, you cannot have pet.
yeah, because he wanted a dog, and we lived on a floating city, and if that dog jumped in the water, it would get eaten by a shark.
What if that dog had wings and had teeth?
Then we wouldn't have... I mean, most dogs, as far as I'm aware, do have teeth.
Sharper teeth.
Sharper teeth.
As I bring out the egg. I might have done a thing.
You might have did a thing.
There's a very good possibility that I might have done a thing.
Okay. How much of a thing are we talking here? Like, is it...
About 19 psychic damage worth of a thing.
I have no idea what that means.
No, I connected with it mentally.
Am I talking to it, or am I talking to you?
No, you're talking to me.
That's exactly what it would say.
Ask me a question, Teddy.
Okay. At our wedding, one person in my wedding party you absolutely despised. Who was it?
I fucking killed him. He's your best man. He fucked my mother.
The fact that you go, I killed him, and giggle. He immediately goes, okay, yeah, it's you.
I've bonded with the egg. I think.
You bonded with the egg.
Mm-hmm.
You bonded with a breakfast ingredient.
No.
No. Okay, good. Because for a minute there, it was starting to sound a little bit crazy.
No, it's not the breakfast ingredient.
It's an egg.
Yeah, it's a baby inside.
There is a baby in the egg.
A ruby dragon, I think.
You know how eggs work?
There is a baby.
Teddy, I thought you were a lot smarter than this. Like, do you not know what happened? How egg works?
Oh, I'm very familiar with how eggs work. I'm just piecing it together in my brain.
Okay.
So
The egg likes me.
The egg likes you.
Baby in the egg likes me.
Baby in the egg likes you, and you like the baby in the egg.
I named it Dibs.
You've named it. You remember what we used to say to Fergus about, naming things? And how it's not a...
Daddy, please, I want to keep it so bad. I haven't been able to take care of anything in months. It's driving me up a wall. Please let me keep the baby dragon. Please. And I think it's the first time that this has been very reversed for Teddy, because Jericho's always been the hard ass. Jericho's not the one to beg for things, and he can see in her face in this moment that she really wants to keep this egg. But this is very different. This is not something. Honestly, this is probably the first time he's seen her, this version of Fergus through her. This is where he gets it from. But it's just got to be something she's really passionate about. I want to keep the egg.
If it pees on the carpet, you're cleaning it up.
We don't have a carpet. Our house is gone. So.
If it pees anywhere, you're cleaning it up.
Okay. It's a really bad time to lose prestidigitation.
So we now have a dragon?
Technically, we have an egg. Hopefully, we'll hatch, maybe.
I mean, I'm sure it'll hatch. Eggs tend to do that. See, I know about eggs.
I don't know. It was left all alone. all the other eggs were accounted for except for this one.
All the other eggs used to make fun of it and call it names.
It was alone. It needed me.
Wouldn't let it play any breakfast food games.
Oh, everything else was scrambled and this one was sunny side up.
Then one foggy Christmas Eve.
Denny's came to say.
Dibs.
Clown came up and said, I want it that way.
Okay. So, I'm just trying to get in my head exactly what the situation is and where we stand. So we are now the legal guardians of a dragon. Egg. Soon to be dragon.
They gave me the satchel. I assume that means it's mine.
I just have one question. Just one question. That's it.
Yes, you can pet it.
That was not the question I was going to ask. Why?
The idea of leaving it alone was not an option. And I miss my son. And he's going through a lot right now, and I thought that our family could definitely use this. I know I could. Who knows, maybe it will be able to help us get him back, help him through whatever trauma that he has experienced. It's a lot to put on the baby, I understand, but I need this. I need something to take care of. I need something to focus on other than just the bad, please. There's only so many times you can die and come back.
Then I guess we are the legal guardians of a soon-to-be baby dragon.
And it's definitely like just the lean into his shoulder and nuzzle and like while holding the egg. And just kind of sitting there in silence until Pheasant shows up.
Fez, you can enter at this point with margaritas in tow.
Only got 2.
Bye, Teddy! I'm a responsible parent!
Here you go.
And so it begins. I'm being left alone with the baby.
No, I take the satchel with me. The satchel's not leaving my side.
Okay.
I wish my darling husband good night, but it's party time. It's been a long time, and me and Fez are well overdue for a margarita night.
Okay. So you and Fez go and drink margaritas, is that it?
Yeah.
Okay. With 8 powered down and you guys drinking margaritas, is that it until rest time? Okay. And with your rest comes as something that you've grown very, very used to in these this past week. It's an easy rest. It's a safe rest. We're going to do that final time skip. 1 week ahead. The next week is a flurry of preparation. Whether that is preparing to set off into the deep depths of the ocean or whether it's to set off in some other direction. You guys are preparing for a journey. A couple of issues do crop up with this. One, the crew can't come with you, as your ship no longer has a power source. It is still intact, and if a power source can be found for it, you will be able to reclaim it. But at the moment, what was once the power source is now a gnome. What has been procured for you is a small sloop. This sloop is, let me find the stat block for it, because it does have a stat block. Give me just a moment while I find... Here we go, this is what I'm looking for. What you have is a... Is it a keelboat? It is a keelboat. A keelboat has the capacity for 4 passengers and 3 crew members. 7 people total. Okay? You guys can fill a position in that if you wish. So, for instance, if at least one of you has the ability to steer a ship, you can fill one of the crew slots. Or if you'd rather fill that with NPCs that can steer the ship for you, you guys can take the passenger slots. But this ship can fit 7 people. It is 60 foot long, 20 foot wide. Nothing compared to what you did have.
Do any of you know how to drive a boat? We shall take the passengers.
Well,
Oh, Fez might.
I don't know how to drive most boats. But I can make this an infernal engine. And then I'll be able to drive this boat specifically.
What would that do to Pinchy?
I can have multiple vehicles.
Oh, can you? Okay, cool.
I just can't have them. I can only have one on the material plane at any given time.
Okay.
Okay.
So if I summon Pinchy, I have to unsummon the boat. So I can't have them both at the same time. But this will also eliminate the need for any crew. So now we basically just have 7 passenger slots.
You have one person that is going to travel with you regardless of what happens. And that's because because they cannot take up a spot because they have Paku.
Paku.
They can just kind of chill on Paku's back, or they can swim with him, or a whole load of other things. There are other NPCs that you can speak to travel with you if you wish. You can take Kip or Hark. You can speak to any of the leaders of the Elven nations and try and convince one of them to come with you. You can... because remember, so you do know that Queen Alice and King Lunadris are both here.
We know where we're going.
That's the other thing you have to decide. What you want to do first.
Because this is very selfish of me, but like, there is an item on here, and this is the map that I got from the guys.
Island to the continent to the east.
And it's supposed to be something that I can use efficiently, and if we're going against the fleet, I'm very interested to find out what that is.
That is fine with me. We just need to keep an eye out for like spontaneous fires or sudden blizzards or things like that, because we have been tasked with finding the rest of the spirits of the seasons.
Oh.
I talked to a god.
Oh.
Something just.
And
So go ahead, finish what you're going to say, Wingo.
Jericho. So when we were back, this is like 7 months ago. When we were back, we flew over Lulth's castle, and I was the only one that saw the winter spirit.
Yeah.
And I didn't tell anybody. Oh, you mean the okay.
At Aladar.
And I don't think with your insight, you know.
Jericho, you are making a face like you are holding something deep within your heart that you would like to share with the group.
I know I don't want to share it with the group.
But do you need to?
I may or may not have seen the winter spirit while we were dead.
Oh, yeah, I figured that most of the season spirits might be on that plane, but maybe Aquas was just wanting us to look for just nature spirits in general. Because he said that things were getting back to normal in terms of nature, but I do think that probably most of the actual, like, seasonal spirits are still on that dead plane, which, you know, I did tell Strife I would pay him a visit, so eventually I'll be back there at some point, but...
Hopefully not a long time from now. So, yeah, we can definitely keep an eye out for weird weather patterns. That's not an issue, so we go to other continent to grab my new poke stick. My throw poke stick.
You do have a good throw poke stick.
I really need one. Need one. And then we take on the fleet. Is that the game plan right now?
So that's what I was going to say. Do remember that the big thing for this was going to a fleet underwater facility that is doing something. You're not entirely sure what, but has hundreds of people captive. You've seen a place like this before, but it was people who had powerful magical capabilities. Whatever this place is doing, whether it's magical capabilities or something else, you don't know. You just know Fergus is there. And that Teddy has amassed a group who are willing to help. But if you go in there and you charge in, it's we are attacking. If we get pushed out, they could blip and dip out and go somewhere else, and then it's a whole other mess to hunt them down again. So it's the balance of running for Fergus or suit yourselves up and then go.
Do you guys have any other allies that we can call upon?
I mean, we've made a lot of enemies.
That's not what I asked.
I mean, we have the gargoyles. They are some good friends of ours. We have some mages who we rescued who are also friends of the gargoyles who might be willing to help us. The free folks sound like they are kind of in a mess right now, so I don't think we should be bothering them. They kind of need to be able to recoup. Most other people don't like us.
So, what if we did this? What if me and Teddy go to get my weapon? You two see if you can grab some allies, and then we meet back to go on the fleet. I think we should split the party and cover distance that way.
We only have one boat.
I have a Paco.
Oh, you have a Pacu.
And I also can swim.
It's true.
We're gonna. I'm seeing an issue with this plan where, if I don't go in with equipment that I'm capable with, I'm not going to be able to save my son. I'm going to trust the little goblins. I think that they seem like 12 guys.
They are very, very good.
But I don't think that going in without as much backup as we possibly can. So if there are people that you guys can think of to call upon, unfortunately we don't have echo, so we can't do the nice little sending thing. But
Oh, you know, we could ask the elven leaders if they have friends.
we can ask the elven
They
leader if
probably
they have
have
friends.
so many friends.
Does that sound like a good plan of action for us, guys?
It's not a bad idea.
My only worry is we cannot communicate. So if you and Teddy get in trouble, or if me and Fez get in trouble, the other half of the party will not be aware of the other person being in trouble. And like if we die again, then the other people wouldn't know.
Me and Teddy aren't going to die.
I make no promises about myself.
We know we meet back here, correct? Does that sound like a good plan?
Are we
It's
able
furiously
to?
patting his
Or
pockets.
this island is pretty hidden. I don't know if we are able to easily re-access it once we.
I have a Paco.
We do.
And you have Find the Path.
That is true.
We have GPS.
We got GPS. We're level 17. We got GPS.
That is so true.
Also, as the person that created Mistwells, once they've been somewhere, they're kind of like elephants. You know,
They always remember.
they'll find their way. If they want to get there, they'll find their way back.
So honestly, this would not be the safest meeting point for us. This is honestly, from now on, if we ever get separated, this is the place that we meet. That just seems like a good spot. But I don't know. I don't think that wasting our time, us all going to get a weapon, is productive in any way, shape, and form. I think that it's something me and Teddy can handle.
I mean, we can definitely do that. I can talk to, like, while you and Teddy head out, we can talk to the elven leaders and then head towards the gargoyles. And if we see any natural phenomenons, then we can go help those nature spirits to try and not, prevent the end of the world with those, while also trying to prevent the end of the world from the things from the beyond, because the fleet is playing with things that they do not understand.
Before I leave, let's go see if maybe they have sending stones or something for us to communicate with.
Oh, that is a good idea.
Right, hang on. And Fez just like jams his arm all the way down into his fanny pack.
I don't want your teeth again! I do not want your teeth again!
Right, sorry, no, the other one. It reaches the other pocket of the... And he pulls out a set of sending stones.
Fuck yes! You just
I
had
made
those in
these
your
ages
pocket?
ago.
And then I will take one and give one to A. See? We now if you see a nature spirit that we need to help you with, we can come find you.
Okay.
And I put the sending stone away.
Alright, Brent, I'm trying to remember how long does it take to put an infusion onto an item?
I think
Short rest?
I think it's an hour.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure it's an hour.
I think it's a short
Alright.
rest.
I'll
Okay,
double check it. I'll double check it if you give me just a little moment. Infusion. An infusion works on only certain types of objects. When you finish a long rest, You touch an object and boom.
All right. We have until we'll take off tomorrow. You have until then to come up with a name for this ship while I make upgrades. Until then, if you don't, I'm calling it Bodie McBoatface.
Listen, you cannot
that's bad.
you cannot take a national emblem of Scotland without mapper. There's actually a military ship in Scotland who they put it to the public to name it, and the public named it Boaty McBoatface.
That's the most Scottish thing I've ever heard.
They asked what we've had one hurricane hit Scotland. One individual hurricane. They put it to the public of Scotland to name it. Guess what we named it? Hurricane Ballbag.
Please tell me
that tracks.
B-A-W-B-A-G.
It's Hurricane Ballbag. Hurricane B-A-W-B-A-G. Hurricane Ballbag.
Yes.
I love that.
Don't let the people of Scotland name it anything. This is why we can't be an independent country. Because they'll say, what do you want to call your currency? And we'll call it like Smackaroonies or some shit like that. Like,
I want that though. I want Smackaroonies.
I want Smackaroonies.
Exactly. Macaronis sound amazing.
Smackaroonie and cheese.
Sounds like a type of cookie. Like, what's your favourite type of cookie? Snickerdoodles or Smackaroonies?
It does.
100%
Brad, I'm coming up on time.
Yeah, I know.
Just give me that.
So, with you guys now got sending stones, with an idea of what's happening, I think that's where we'll have to go into above table discussion, behind scenes, and then we bring it to next session. Okay? So I'm going to wrap us there with the sending stones being handed over. Okay? I will not give a cutscene. Not in this. Not today. Not today.
No cutscene.
Thank you very much for everybody that came to see us today, and thank you very much for my amazing cast. If you like what you've seen here today, please do go and check out all of our social medias. Not Twitter, but we do have Blue Sky, so go check out Blue Sky. I think it's worldtreequest.social.bsky or something like that. If you go to Blue Sky and type in World Tree Quest, you'll find us. We've also got Instagram, Threads, and we've got obviously YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch. So if you have any of those, hit that follow button. If you have YouTube, hit the subscribe button. If you have Twitch, hit follow or subscribe. Your choice. Anything that we do get goes directly into benefiting the channel. I can't think of anything else. Go follow all our social medias at World Tree Quests on everything. I do things, but I don't do things right now, but I will be doing things, so I'll plug that later. I'm going to hand over to my cast, and I'm going to allow them to plug themselves. So, oh wait, no, I'm going to be at PAX U. Come say hi. I hug a lot. Jess, anything you would like to plug at all, my dear?
Saturday, we're gonna be starting a new campaign that I get to be in. It's a Dragon Age campaign. We get to be in that. I'm really
We're doing our session 0 this Saturday. I don't know if we're going to stream it, but we will be doing our session 0. So, very exciting.
Session 0.
Anything else you'd like to plug?
No, I'm here and I'm happy.
What about yourself, Johnny?
I will also be at PAX Unplugged, and I also hug, and my hugs are squishier because I am big.
I'm just broad. I don't have the squish. Fantastic. Thank you very much for that there, Johnny. And what about yourself? Anything that you would like to plug at all?
So next week is Extra Life on Dummies and Dice Rolls, and on Friday the 1st, I'm doing a Monster of the Week game with YDM. Brand is going to be part of it. As of right now, the cast is not set in stone, but I know Vex Wilds, Christian, Son of Asgard, possibly Chris Fire 98, possibly DC Keys 75. So we have one hell of a lineup for that. That's one hell of a cast. We're going to be going to Virginia to find out what's going on with the Bunnyman Bridge. Come see me. It's going to be 4 o'clock PST on Friday the 1st. And Extra Life is to get games and TTRPGs into the hands of kids that are terminally ill in hospitals. It's a good, but I do believe that what our first goal, I think Vex is shaving her head or something like that, or getting a haircut. So, something's going on with Vex's hair.
so fun.
I'll think of something to add to that. 4 p.m. PST, that's 6 p.m. CST, right?
I believe so, yeah.
So that is midnight for all of my UK folk. That is that everything for you? If that's everything from my cast, that's everything from me, so that's everything from us. Thanks for coming to see us today, folks. I've been your DM of Doom, Son of Asgard, or World Tree Quest here on TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube. With me today, we've had Stories from the Roses, we've had Johnny Deadman, and we've had Wingle the Wizard. From all of us here at World Tree Quest, good night, stay safe, don't split the party, except, this time. Just this time. And also, don't pull a finny. Good night, folks. Good night.